Now, if you drive a car with a high price, its chances of being stolen are pretty high, too. With that in mind, Pat Goss is going to review the latest devices that could improve your car's chances of staying put. Pat?
Well, John, so you've finally arrived. That exotic car that you've always wanted, well, you've made it. Here it is. Now, the name of this game is to keep it out of the hands of thieves. Now, this particular car right here is equipped with an intrusion type of alarm system. And we're going to show you some of the different types of alarms and some of the things you can do to help keep your car yours. Let's see how the intrusion alarm works. See, it's sensitive to the sounds of breaking glass or other sounds that would be accompanied by breaking into an automobile. And see if we can simulate this. Okay. Now, if you noticed on this particular alarm, we also have a remote control device. Now, remote controls are going to be applicable to just about all of the different types of alarms that we're going to be talking about. Now, here's another one, and this one has an interesting feature. Okay, with this one, you can control the alarm itself. You can actually set the alarm off some distance from the car. Now, what's the advantage of that? Well, the advantage is very simple. Suppose you're walking through a dark parking lot or someplace to get to your car and there's somebody suspicious nearby. You're afraid you might be mugged or worse. You can set off the alarm. That scares the intruder away. Okay, it works quite well. Now, here's another type of alarm that is very popular. This is a motion detector. What it does is it senses rocking or movement of the car and it sets the alarm off. Now, this is an electronic type, and it has an adjustment on it so that you can adjust the sensitivity of it so that the alarm doesn't go off every time the wind blows or something of that nature. All right. Now, here is another one. This one works a little bit differently. This is an ultrasonic alarm, and what it does is it fills the inside of the car with ultrasonic sound waves. And if those sound waves are interrupted by a door being opened or anything that would permit the sound wave pattern to be disturbed, it sets off the alarm. It's quite effective. Now, here's something that works quite nicely, especially for pickup trucks and vans and commercial vehicles and so on. What this is, it is a unit that fits over the lock itself, and it has a little door on it that you open to get to the lock. Well, if the alarm is set, when that door is opened, it sets off the alarm. Now, this, of course, saves a lot of body work and so on, because generally they don't damage just the lock, they damage the body of the vehicle as well when they're taking the lock out. Now, all of these alarms are worthless unless you have this. Now, what in the world is this? Well, it's a 9-volt battery, and it's part of a typical backup system. So you have to have power to the alarm system in case the thief is smart enough to cut a battery cable. Then the alarm system works off of the backup system. This is vital if you want to have good security on your automobile. Now, what is more common than anything else? The most typical thing that a thief is trying to get is they're trying to get your sound system. Now, many vehicles will have something that's a lot more exotic than what we have here, but still in all, even the inexpensive ones lots of times get stolen. What can you do to prevent that? Well, here's one thing that can be done right here. This is a cassette lock, and it fits into the little trap door in the cassette and locks in there so that even if they steal the cassette player, it isn't usable, and there's no way to get it out of the cassette player. Works quite effective. But one thing that you don't want to do as far as your sound system is concerned, we find people that do some pretty elaborate things to make it difficult to get the sound system out of the dash. Well, that isn't good advice, because if you make it too difficult to get the unit out of the dash, what they do then many times is something like this. They take an axe or a hatchet and simply chop the dash of the car apart, and they still get your sound system. Plus, they do many hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars worth of damage to your car. Now, here's something that is very interesting. Suppose you have a convertible or some other vehicle that doesn't lend itself to the typical types of alarm systems. Here's a unit that fits on the top of the steering column. It's an adapter with a key and so on. What you do is you unlock the steering wheel itself, take the steering wheel off. You can take it with you. Then there's a cap, such as we have here. Fits on the top like that, and you lock it in place. Makes it very difficult to steal the car. Now, no matter what you do, any combination of these or all of these alarms doesn't make it impossible to steal your car. What it does do is make it impractical for a thief to steal your car.